Okay. Start with circuit royale. We'll do the quick cheat. It's shorter. Okay. So objective unlocks. I just want to take a look before we start. At one, I had some notes. So work on the focus when we're diving with monkey. Onyx wants to know where he should be holding. If there's anything I can do better with my dives. Like what to do if the Reaper is focusing me. Okay. So we're coming up on here. I'm just gonna go ahead and change this real quick to, we'll do 10 seconds, because 5 seconds might be a little bit quicker. Alright, so we're in the mirror here. Let's see how we approach this fight. Something that you can do while you're watching this, which will help you, is to take notes. It really does help, because and you can remember everything after. So we can go over a few things with this starting fight, right? There are a couple things that happen that I say, this is a reason why you feel like there's so much pressure on you when you're in this. So what I'll first thing is this is going to be a lot of Hank and Nemo, as well as maybe a little bit of Ian. So the game has changed to where I wouldn't recommend these kind of soft dives anymore. You don't really have time for that. The game is much faster. You don't have an off tank to help you kind of like cycle out these soft dives where you can kind of go in softly, back out, and get help from your off tank. You don't have that anymore. So when you make a decision, you are making the decision for your entire tank line. Basically, you are the tank line. So every decision you make is what the entire tank line is doing. So if I jump in here once they're up here, what am I'm only going to be able to help myself, right? There's no diva to help me, take the pressure off and DM me, take some, some attention away from me. So everything that I do is going to directly affect how my gameplay is going to progress, how I'm going to progress the fight. And you need to be much more decisive, and you need to be much more when you are decisive with decisions. You have to say, what decision that I'm about to make, is this going to help my team or is this going to harm my team? Obviously, that's given a no-brainer. But what I mean by that is, if I'm coming up with this off the top of my head, where this decision that I make currently, what's the pros and cons, right? I know you can't do that right away, but when you figure out the pro and con after you make that decision, you can then, not do that or do that. Like, when I make a soft dive and then drop my bubble and then fall, what positive and negative is that going to bring to the team? In a game like Overwatch 1, where it's very slow, especially monkey comps with Ana and Diva, you want to be taking slow, soft dives, charge nano, so that would help you. But in this game, what is that soft dive of jumping up, bubbling, right? Jumping up and bubbling. What is that going to do for the team, right? What does that do? And I would say that it doesn't do. I would say that it does more harm. I would say that it does no good. That it only does harm. And what that does is you jump in, take damage, and drop off. You're only putting yourself in a situation to where then your team can rush at you. What I will say is, a lot of times, like, let's see what you see here, right? So you go in, going on Kiriko. You're on Kiriko, you drop bubble, and immediately, I don't know where the Reaper is. Well, immediately you're getting 4v1, right? Kendall, sorry, is trying to help you. I don't know what he's doing, but we'll go over that later. Um, Connix is in a pretty good position, trying to get that. I would kind of say maybe like be up here a little bit more, just so you can kind of like the difference between right here and right here isn't totally different, but what it's gonna do is it's gonna give you just that tiny second, maybe half a second, being able to charge something up on them. Say they drop onto the cart. Say they drop onto the cart. You are still up here now, and you have that little height. Um, but back to what Hank is doing. When you engage on this dive, notice how their monkey is playing kind of like he's playing a little bit better, where he's playing with his team and he's not reacting to where you're going and immediately diving in. He's surveying the situation, playing off what you're doing, and you dive in and you get immediately pressured by Kiriko, Lucio, Sojourn's grenading you. Kendall's forced to TP into you. Instead, how would I approach this fight if I was playing monkey? Here's how I would approach the fight, right? So the team's up here, right? And if you can follow my cursor, I would have all four of you, right? All four of you together, walk up the stairs and meet them here and do a little bit of a fight. What's that going to do is it's going to put enough pressure onto their team, especially since their Sojourn is with them. That's a big mistake that they're making. Their Sojourn is going to be in the thick of it. If you, Hank, are up here with the Reaper, dealing damage, dropping your bubble, getting in their face, Connix is going to be up here completely farming railgun shots, and there's nothing they can do about it because this Sojourn is playing like that. Their Sojourn is basically giving you a free pass to just harass her because she's not playing in a position like Connix is to where she can get value consistently. So I would have all five of you stay together and walk up here instead of these soft dives, backing up, kind of then diving back in. If you're getting pressured by the Reaper, if you are walking in, you can use your jump to escape, right? You can use your jump to jump back into this backline over here. If you jump up, immediately start getting pressured by the Reaper. Now you're down at half health over here, no jump. You're in a stagnant. Then you jump back in. Now you're getting pressured half up, back up. Go up here, boom, boom, boom. Getting half health, move back out, regroup, walk back in, move back out. It's basically ensuring that you don't die if you are reacting quick enough. But what happens is you dive in by yourself. Kendo's forced to TP to you. Nemo's taking a long flank. You jump back in. 4v1 right now. Now you're forced to jump out. And then, because you are forced to jump out like that, because you went in by yourself, then their Sojourn has that second of space, and she kills Ian. The best thing I would say is that you're not playing this comp like a dive. It's not a dive. It's not a dive. It's basically a version of 6-man. You are not diving unless a character is so out of position that you can dive at them. Yeah. But approaching fights, you're not jumping in. You can jump in during the mid fight if you're winning the fight and get some damage off, right? But as far as diving in like that, it's not going to help you. Engage the fight as a team, other than Sojourn. But that is the reason that you guys lose that fight right there. Okay. So I'd like to go over this second here. This 5-second sequence. You still win the fight, but let's see what happens. First off, Connix, I would you don't necessarily have to rotate with them. Like you could play honestly, you could play here. Like this is completely fine. Or you could play I guess right here would be okay, but right here would be like you could play up here, and this is what I'm talking about, where the comp is meant to take the pressure off of Sojourn so she can get value. If your team's going that way, who do you think's gonna be looking over here at you, right? Like who's gonna be looking over here at you? You can easily get some some chip damage, and maybe throw a grenade right here, get some chip damage, and headshot this Sojourn. Even Kiriko as well. Kiriko, what a lot of pro teams are doing is they're sending their Kiriko like on flanks to take out to like try to take out supports, and then she can not Suzu. Don't use Suzu on yourself, but excuse me as I move my mouse. But TPing back into the team, and then if she has to Suzu, she can Suzu. So maybe try sprinting with that a little bit. Maybe your Kiriko can be over here with your Sojourn. Try to get a pick and then TP back into their team. But I'm not trying to get away from what was happening. So watch what happens here, Hank. So Nemo is pressuring their Winston really good. So you're at half health, right? And you jump in, and I think if you don't realize this, you have to realize that nobody, unless other than Kendall, is going to be able to get to you. Like, you are putting yourself in a huge no man's land right now. Like, there Winston gets taken out. If I'm the Reaper, I'm calling everyone, look at this guy, and immediately kill you. Like, there's nothing you can do. You will die immediately. But the Reaper doesn't notice that. And you get Suzu, you get helped. But like I would say, like, I skipped 10 seconds by mistake, but oh my god, I just restarted it as well. Oh my god, I'm NA host or NA VODer. But what I was saying is that if I was on the enemy team and I saw that, a relatively coordinated person, I would say, Monkey just fed, everyone go on him. Reaper would turn around, immediately start shooting you, you die immediately. Then it'd be a 4v4. Then it'd be a different story, right? It'd be a winnable fight for them. Then they can fight without the tanks and maybe turn it. I've skipped too much. Okay, here we go. So this fight turns out. Guys, maybe get some stragglers. Oh, Hank gets taken out. Oh, they do fight this 4v4. Connex takes somebody out. But their Monkey's back. Just turn it with that, though. Okay. But see what I mean there? The reason you died was because you were low health, but you were just so focused on diving them that you weren't focused on what your actual job is, right? You were just focused on trying to kill them. What's my actual job, right? I'm cycling my abilities, getting in their face, but I'm also playing to be that presence and staying alive. We always talk about the play to live, right? Coming in with 5 ultimates here, all 5 ultimates. They're down 1. Oh no, that's the enemy team, sorry. You guys are coming in with 3, almost 4. They're coming in with all 5. If you're tracking this, I would say fight it. Perhaps invest 1, right? Maybe invest Kiriko. Maybe you kill the Lucio before he beats, and maybe you can win that fight out.
This ends now.
They use 1. They use another one, or use yours. He gets killed. They use 2. But let's go over.
This ends now.
Your team has lost the lead.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Kendall, what I'm seeing here is that you use this as like a support ultimate. It's not a support ultimate. It doesn't do anything to support you. healing wise. I would use this exclusively as an aggression ultimate. Think of it as like bongo. That's my main analogy to this ultimate, right? Is Rissa Bongo. Am I gonna use a Rissa Bongo to stop a dive? You know? To stop a Zarya grab? To stop a Rhine shatter? No. Am I gonna use a Rissa Bongo to take space? To break shields? To hold an angle? To take aggression? Yes. Am I using the Kiriko's ultimate to stop a grab, stop a shatter, stop a railgun, overcharge, stop a monkey ultimate? No. Am I using Kiriko ultimate to take aggression, take space, hold angles, take a lane? Cause this is literally just like a lane. Think of this as like a, like you're taking a lane. Because at the end of the day, this is like a map full of lanes, right? Yes. So in this case, you're getting pushed back by the enemy team, and perhaps you try to use this to take aggression and kind of match that, but watch what happens. Most of your team, 3 out of the 5, are pushed out of it. Now pushed out by the monkey. And then killed. So you could have maybe saved that ultimate. Now you can come in with the Casino Rush, and now they have Casino Rush. You have the same, close to the same 3 ultimates.
Your team has lost the lead.
Good ultimate. Pretty good fight so far. Nice, take down. Unfortunately, you guys lose. Let's go over this fight. This looks like it could be interesting. Let's look at the approach. Okay. So, as a tank player, I can see things differently from maybe a DPS player that would look at your VOD, Hank. And what I see here is, I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm not trying to bring you down, and this is not going to sound like it, but maybe it might. But what I'm seeing here is that you kind of just don't really make a decision. Like, you might think that this is making a decision in this fight, but like, watch. I'm going to tell you what I see, and then I'm going to see what you see, right? So I'm walking up here. I'm pretending this is me. I'm walking up. I'm diagnosing what is going to happen. So I'm first taking a second. Because the Reaper is far away, I'm not getting pressured as much. I mean, maybe the soldiers can shoot me a little bit, but I'm not worried about that. I'm diagnosing who's there, where they are, what's happening. I see Reaper and Sojourn. So I don't want to dive in just yet because I want to see where their supports are. Alright. You notice that I noticed that the tank's coming in here. So I don't see Lucio. I don't see the supports yet. I'm assuming, because I see this, that Kiriko's back here. I see that Ian is coming in right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thing. I'm going to turn around and look at where my Reaper is and my Kiriko. So I'm turning around. I'm seeing where they are. Are they close to me? Are they lagging behind? Now I'm looking back. I see this. I see 4 out of 5. I can only assume the Lucio is coming back with the monkey, or is behind the Kiriko coming back. What's my next move here? I'm jumping in to 3 characters that have multiple abilities to avoid my jump. We have Reaper, who has both of his abilities. One less effective than the other, but both of his abilities. We have Sojourn, Dash, and we have Kiriko, Suzu, and Teleport. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total abilities out of these 3 people to avoid my dive, right? So I am going to instead jump in. Instead of jumping in, I'm going to engage with my Reaper onto theirs and onto their Sojourn. Maybe perhaps force out Wraith, force out Suzu, force out Slide, and after that happens, then I can go for that kill. Then I can go for the jugular, right? I'm going in here. I'm trying to, play around my bubble, play around the cart, play around my healers, force something out of them, force them to make a mistake, play smart like that, and then jump in. But what you do is immediately jump in. And this is why I'm saying this is not a decision. You're not making a decision because you're just looking at them and saying time to go. Right? It's so quick and so like thoughtless that you're kind of just like, "Oh, there they are. Let's go. Time to go in." Right? You don't look behind to see if anybody's even there. Right? Your Hiriko's still over here. Right? Your Nemo's not in position yet. So you're jumping into 3 people who can easily deal with you alone. Instead of playing it, let's play to force out an ability, right? Or let's play to just hold the cart. Maybe hold the cart for a second. Maybe Reaper headshots him, either kills him, forces out Wraith. He has to back up. Maybe Sojourn like slides up here to get a better high ground. That's a mistake. Let's jump in, right? But what happens? You jump in. They use that. Sojourn slides away. Reaper races away. Ian kind of goes in here, and now you're kind of split, right? I mean, this is okay because she can go in. But as we keep going in the fight, now the attention has split, right? So now you're focusing him. He's focusing kind of both-ish. He's trying to focus here at Kiriko. They have to beat. They Reaper ult. Good ult. And then they kind of clean you up. And the reason that you guys lose this fight is not necessarily because of a mechanical mistake. It's just that for that 2-second window, you jumped in here. Your team was forced to overcompensate to get there. Now you're in this weird area. Now you're being pinched, right? By 3 and 2. And now you're like, uh-oh, where am I? Now they beat in, and now they go like this. Reaper ult you. Now you're forced to use ultimates. You're being pinched, and you get killed. I'm not saying that could have happened if you held right here, forced out Wraith, forced out Slide. Maybe they still would have, beated. But at the same time, you're not putting yourself in a situation to where your team has to compensate for something that can be prevented. So you lose this fight out of that. Okay. So once again, this is there's not a lot of talking, right? Like maybe there's talking, but it's just all bland and it's hollow, right? Because if we go back, let's look at your POV. Okay. Here are the supports, right? I'm pointing with my finger right now. Sorry. Here's Lucio. Here's Kiriko. I'm unaware I'm aware that the Reaper is behind on our Sojourn, so I'm not ready to go in. All right, my Sojourn isn't in position. My Sojourn is not ready to deal with this dive, because the point of the dive, the point of the rush, is to make space for her to get kills. Um, what I am going to do is turn around and force this guy's Wraith and do one of two things after that. I'm either going to hard focus him or dive on their back line, because he's not going to be able to help them as much because he is focused on his own survivability. So Charger's not in position. So you jump in. So you are into the fight immediately. Here he goes right here. He's right here. He's right here. He's over here. Nemo is forced to Wraith in to get there faster. To get to you faster. Connix is still not in position because he's, it's not his fault because he's getting pressured by a Reaper. Their Reaper race. Kendall is still, far away because he is, still coming into the fight. He's trying to heal his team. Now he gets pressured by that Reaper that was still behind when he could have been dealt with. You guys beat after Nemo dies. Ian gets killed. So we can kind of see what happened there, right? There wasn't a lot of communication between Connix. Maybe he said, "Can I pause for a second? Can I get some help first?" There wasn't communication between Hank and his support line. Can we go in? As well as, I know I'm saying this for the first time right now, but instead of jumping in, just have your Lucio speed. Just speed right off this together. Right, if you want to do that. But make sure that your Sojourn isn't getting pressured, because the point of this comp is to be a rush, but have your Sojourn play back and make space for your Sojourn to possibly get a pick and win the fight. But we don't play around that.
This ends now.
We use 2 ultimates and lose just because of a poor start to that fight. Just because of that one decision. Great kill on him. And you get a Reaper ult off and win that pretty easily. So okay. So this just doesn't make any. I don't know. I can't see your guys's. I can't hear you guys' comms, but like. What's going? Like I don't know what's going on here, right? Where the monkey's out of view, so now we just look at this guy now. Kendall gets killed by himself. They use that. You guys just don't seem to be on the same page. How would I approach that fight is... I know that, I see things differently from you guys, but... If I see a monkey diving in like that deep, I can assume that one of two things. One, they have beat. 2, they have monkey ult. Or I guess 3, they have both. In this case, they had both. If the monkey is diving that far, I can only assume that he has his ultimate. And I don't want him to use that, because that would be bad. That would be annoying. If he does use it, we can, I would say, speed backwards as a team. Try to stay together and speed backwards as a team. Just be like, walk backwards, everyone walk backwards, speed backwards. what's that going to do is it's going to make it harder for him to separate you guys, like he did with Kendall. It's going to make it harder for him to do that. If you guys are speeding back for just a second, it's going to make him harder to separate you guys. Or something else is that this mistake that he makes, which is something that Hank sometimes has been doing, is if I see him jump in like that. So we're right here, right? Fight breaks out. Fight's about to break out. You can see their teams up there. He does that. Maybe instead of focusing him, I'm speeding past him since he jumped and trying to kill their backline, right? Conic stays here. Maybe he's up here, maybe he's up here, maybe he's in here. You guys go after that. Maybe kill someone, maybe force out a bunch of abilities. Hank can ult, displace them, and you can do the same thing that he did, but first. Because you guys kind of stay here, get displaced. They waste Kitsune Rush. Hank uses ultimate at the end. But it's the inability to effectively react. If you're going to play a little bit, slower in that fight, you have to know that you're going to have to react to some sort of, whatever they're doing. This is a good Kitsune Rush. Let's see. I'd like to see a kill come out of that pretty soon. Let's look at the target focus. So you guys go in like a little pinch here, which is cool. So we have Hank. Can I turn on this, like, here we go. So we have Kendall's right here. Got 2 right here. Connix is in fine position. Nemo is over here. What I will say is that Nemo's hasn't been to anything, so I won't like shit on him too much about this. But for Nemo, for Reaper players, as well as for Sojourn players, I played this to Johnny, and I want to see what Connix is looking at right now. Always look to kill the Sojourn first in a fight if you're Sojourn. Oh no, don't wraith into him. Stay with your wonky Nemo and just focus the front line. Put pressure on their front line. Oh, that wasn't good. No, that's not good at all. Yeah. The main reason for Reaper to be in this comp, one of the main, is how effective he is in Kitsune Rush. So if you don't get value out of that, then shit happens, I guess. Oh, excuse me while I respond to my girlfriend who is on the train right here right now. So it's an 8-hour train ride. So I just want to I just want to make respond to her. Forgive me. She's on an 8-hour train ride down to DC. We're gonna spend the weekend together. Sounds pretty fun. Is this a different fight? Oh, Hank. So, I guess I have a funny response to your question. I know I reached out to you and asked, anything specific you want me to look at? On our focus when we dive in with Monkey, yep. Because he was being fucked a lot over by their dive. I want to know, Jenny, if there's anything I could do better with my dives. So, this is going to sound like duh, but to fix your dive, you should not dive. That's the way to fix it, is to not dive. You see how this guy hasn't really dove into your backline once? Like, he's dove onto high grounds above you, but I haven't really seen him completely just dive into your backline. See how he's kind of just holding the front line with the Reaper? Like, we gotta hold people accountable. So I'm gonna keep saying it. Gonna keep saying it. That's completely your fault, Hank. You need to be more aware of what kind of comp you're running, what your point is, who you're playing with, where they are. Constantly, like when I'm playing, even Overwatch 1, I haven't played Overwatch 2 a lot. I've only done like 2 scrims Overwatch 2. What I'm constantly turning around to seeing where they are, because I know that I'll be at the front line, and constantly turning around to seeing where my teammates are. So I know that they're with me. But now that your monkey's dead, he's gonna, dive into their backline like this. You get a little bit of kills, and you might actually win, which is crazy. It's no shot. That's something. Right here is a more acceptable time because you are dealing with stragglers, but you almost die. Ooh. If you die, ooh. You're forced to ultimate, Connix dies. Got a little bit too excited. You didn't just calm down and regroup. Got a little bit too excited. Yeah, I mean, like, this is just same thing every fight. So I'm not gonna keep repeating myself. But it is the same thing every fight, where you're kind of diving in too far in. You're pacing yourself. You're not giving yourself any time to assess what's going on.
2 minutes remaining.
You're putting yourself on this time constraint where you have to go in immediately. You see how they back up and get their teammates back? That's pretty fine. That's fine. That dive right there. That kind of like soft dive. Kind of just kill. Trade. I like that jump when you jump up in the air. Just like reset yourself, get some damage off. That was a completely fine fight. That was the best fight so far. Nothing wrong there. Okay, just quickly, I want to make sure that everybody watches this. So, Hank, Ian, Kendall, Connix. I'm not gonna crack on John, Nemo, and Jaden as much because they're not here and Nemo's a sub. I know Nemo did watch the last one. But if you did watch this one, I'm going to do a secret word again like I did in that one other one. Secret word is, I did just order a new conditioner. It just came in. So the word is conditioner. So if you type the word conditioner into the white chat, then I'll know you watched this. If you don't, then I'll know you didn't. And I know we're getting off topic, but I have been concerned with some people's what's the word? Like, what's the word? How committed they are. I've had talks with some people, and some of the people, they feel the same. If it continues, then we'll have to have more personal chats about it. But I'm here to help the team get better. Everyone's here to get better, to play, to have fun. But my main job is to basically run these teams and to spend my time helping you get better because I enjoy it so much. I really enjoy doing these VODs and stuff like that. So if you're not going to get anything out of it, or if you're not going to, consistently show up to scrims, that we'll have to have, maybe as time passes and it continues, we'll have to have some talk about it. But, there are more important things in life than this. But there is a time where if there is something that you're doing that's not as important as this is a commitment, you should show up. But that was a completely weird tangent. We're going back into this fight. Good beats.
60 seconds.
That was another good fight. I mean, good Kusine rush. Good beat to, I know they didn't use an ult, but this is going to be a little bit of a concerning next fight, considering that you have one and they have, or two coming up on three, and they have 5 ultimates again. Iconics dies. I mean, they basically just use 3 ultimates and win. I mean, it comes down to that. It literally is because they use 3 ultimates. That's why you're losing. And you might think of yourself, well, how could we have won? Winning other fights, obviously, because some fights are unwinnable due to ultimates that they have. That's just how the game works.
This ends now.
So this is going to end. So, secret word conditioner. I'll know if you watched it. If you didn't watch it, I'm going to say to watch it. If you didn't watch it, I'll reach out and be like, this is not me catching you in anything. I just want to make sure that you're, committed, that you want to get better, because I take my time to do this so you can get better. And it's unfair to me if you don't watch it. It's unfair to your teammates if you don't watch it. Because they're trying to get better around you, and if you're not, that's not fair. All right, let's head to the next map, which is Circuit Royale, right? I think, yeah. I can't believe I almost just opened that conditioner bottle and tried to drink it, because my water bottle is right next to it. All right. So immediately, Widow. If you're gonna run Widow, I would just play like a Sigma version. Like, you can probably beat them with that comp, like a Sigma with like Lucio and Kiriko, and it's like a Sigma, Reaper, and Widow. But most of the time, this comp is just better. So let's go back to the beginning so we can watch what happens.
Attackers incoming.
So you're on attack. They're kind of hiding here. Like, their Sojourn, like, this is what's stupid. Their Sojourn is literally with them. Like, he's like, they don't know how to play this comp. They just play it. I'd like to see a little bit more urgency from you guys coming out. I mean, I know this is like a little nitpicky thing, but like, we walk over here, right? Nemo sees first. Nobody's here. So where are they? There's a team somewhere. Should we look for them? Should we A, look for them, B, stand still, or C, just turn around and just check corners? Kind of gets fucking rolled. No fault of his own, he's just playing Widow. Good pick. know, not sure what that guy's doing, but Ian's good for looking in there to see if they're there. Is this on slow? Yeah. Don't die, Hank. Good Kiriko. Great. That's great. I mean, you capitalized off the pick that Conix got. I mean, that fight could have gone different if he didn't die, but obviously, you know, he did. So that's just something that you guys did. I'm not sure what this guy is up to, but he certainly is a character. I'm not sure what he's doing there, but just wasted Wraith form. What is this Sojourn doing? Ian, you should be with them. Thank you. Completely amazing. That was a perfect fight. They, like, I know you weren't playing against the, like, a team that was doing exactly right, but you saw what they were doing and you know, capitalized off it. So. This guy's gonna dive you. Yeah, this guy's a fucking moron. I mean, you were up there, so. But this guy, I don't know, these guys aren't good. They don't know how to play this comp correctly. But so far, you guys have been doing very well. Other than that first fight. They dive in. Help keep your Lucio alive. Oh, Nemo, don't do that. Instead, call that you want to ult and have your team going with you. Take some of the, you know, take some of the attention away from you. Instead of just going in and doing that. What? How does he die? How does Kendall die? Why are you even up there? Oh, that's a Hank moment. Yikes. Well, for one thing, you kind of walked the opposite way. I would honestly be fine with this if it was approached this way, right? So let's approach this. So you see that the Sojourn's up here. You see that their entire team is up here. So I would say it is okay for you to make sure that your team is with you first. And just you, Hank, jump up here. Get him to move and then drop. Like, just land on the edge, get him to move, and then drop, and then speed up here. Just to get him out of that position for a second. Maybe he rotates into a bad position after that, and you can kill him. Just that split second of just moving him, and then going in on the other side. But instead, you guys all go up here, and Kendall is killed. This is the worst Kiriko ultimate I think I've ever seen. I just want to play. You know what? I can't wait to come back. I just want to play. I want to play. I want to scrim. I want to do this with my pen and my double monitors and everything like that. Being able to go to every scrim and just, you know, play some maps as well. I miss that. Code secret word conditioner. I think after this fight, the Widow should be swapped for a Sojourn because I think they're capitalizing off of your lack of consistent damage. The grenade is also really helpful to deal with dives, to deal with these rushes because of the slow. In a lot of cases, jumping at Widow is easier than jumping at a Sojourn. So it's easier to displace her, it's easier to stop her from killing somebody if a monkey just jumps in her face. So I think I would swap to Sojourn here after this fight. And I hope you do. But it's okay if you didn't. You do, perfect. And I hate that only one comp is the best. It's annoying. So I went over this with RJ. This is for Conics. And I guess Johnny, if he watches this. I don't know if he does. If he watches the other ones. So, this grenade is completely useless. And I'll tell you why. It's going to connect with this monkey. First of all, you don't know where everyone else is. And it's just going to move him back for a second. That doesn't really do anything. I would do this where if I walked in for like 2 more seconds with my team, and Hank is still in spawn and you guys are not, still are going in right now, I would see that there's 4 people right here. I can just do it right here. I could put it behind them. And I'll go over this concept really quickly because I want to finish this map. Because it's 1:05. I'm only 3 minutes in. So I use this grenade as I told RJ about this, as giving the enemy team an ultimatum. What I'm doing is I'm using it as to force them to make a bad decision if I play it correctly. If I play it perfectly, they'll be forced to make a bad decision no matter what. If your tanks are with you, if they're playing right here, if you use it like right here or slightly behind them, it'll make them have to do 2 things. So say like it's like right here, they'll have to do 2 things. They'll either have to push into you with low health, right, with no chance to back up, or else they back up into that, and you can kind of just completely mow over them, or they back up into the grenade, get slowed, damaged, and then you keep pushing into them and kill them. Instead, if you use it like this, you're just kind of like delaying them for a second, and then they come in with more resources than you. I mean, he just uses Suzu for no reason right there. And he uses a grenade as well. I would have got it right now. They use a good counter to that. They counter that well with the Reaper ult. But I'd like to see you not, Hank. I would not jump Sojourn in that case. I would just have our Sojourn focus their Sojourn. Like, I know it's hard to think of just like making them open for the kill, but in this comp and just the way it works, and it's only working one way, you have to just trust your Sojourn to get the kill. Like you have to put that on Connex's shoulders, or Ninja or Tyvoka, whoever's playing. Jaden, I don't know why I said Ninja. You have to put it on their shoulders to be able to kill this Sojourn and win the fight for you guys, because you can't take away the presence that you make in these fights by jumping up there. It just puts your team in such a disadvantage. Nemo dies late as well, which is annoying. I'm not annoyed, that's just like an annoying thing that he dies that late for you guys. That's a fine jump.
This ends now.
So as well, I just want to go through this fight and explain to you by showing you. So you're focusing this side, blah blah blah. And I'm assuming this guy's back. So we know alright, he's back. We know Sergeant's deadly. Let's count how long she goes into the fight without getting pressured. By you, but especially who it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 seconds, then Nemo has to jump in, and he jumps in here. Which is a stupid decision. I don't know what the fuck this guy's thinking. Like, he's just immediately dead. Because he's just a moron. But I know he has overclock, but just focusing him Maybe getting him to half health, he backs up. Like that's so valuable. Going a little bit faster, their soldier's dead.
This ends now.
A lot of ultimates invested in this fight. Between both teams. 3 on that side, 3 on yours, so I guess it's even. You have to win this though. He has to die. Okay. Pretty good. You trade for your 3 for 3, so I mean, if they only used 1 or no ultimates, that would have been a really bad fight for you guys, especially since you're not guaranteed to take the point.
60 seconds.
Another bad use of the grenade tonics because that doesn't do anything. Monkey can die. Good Suzu by them, obviously, but ooh, keep your Nemo alive. Nemo's not die. Oof. Yeah. A split second of just moving past that bubble and killing the monkey, you definitely would have killed the monkey before the Suzu went off.
30 seconds remaining.
I'd get out. Okay, good. Kendall gets out. Getting better. I think I got it. I'm never gonna say Tim anymore. I feel like I've got it. Because I don't have to think about it anymore.
10
Oh.
seconds remaining.
Yeesh. What happens here? So, another moment where Hank, I'd like to just show you. You're up here, right? Your team's back here. You're up here, your team's back here, you're taking damage. Your team's still not there. Now you're almost, you're still taking damage, right? Jump up. Kendall uses Suzu when no one's there, right? Your team's not ready for the Suzu. Tim gets killed
10
because he's forced to back up so much because he wasn't with the team. And you basically get nothing out of these ultimates. Unless UC9. Ah. But that was winnable. It was a 3v3. But, like,
0 to 1. Switching sides.
this game, especially for a tank,
Ready for battle.
you can't make, like, you get punished for your mistakes way more. And like that mistake of literally just being in front of your team for maybe 2 to maybe even 3, like 2 to 3 seconds, cost you the fight, right? Because you were taking damage, forced to back up. You guys were on the same pace, so when you back up, the timing's off. There's a Suzu that's fucked up. You have those ultimates, you don't use them. It's the timing, right? But you could play a Sigma comp here or something like that. I know we play a Sigma comp. My team is struggling right now because Fried Chickenator, our main tank, they're not. I know the thank goodness that the meta is Monkey because he's not. He struggles with the off tanks, and it feels good to be needed. But I miss scrimming. I really do. I miss scrimming with you guys. I miss scrimming with them. I miss everything like that. This play, it's all right. I'm making a lot of friends, but it's taking a lot out of me. It's really boring. It's not a lot to do. Thank goodness I go home this weekend for Thanksgiving. I'm just praying to God. Me and RJ are almost certain that it was the GPU, not anything else. So
Attackers incoming.
I can finally, play some Overwatch.
The payload.
Chill. Good pick. Nemo gets killed. Where were you? Um. What is he saying? Join VC in. Okay. RJ's gonna join us.
There
Hello?
we go.
Okay.
Are you recording right now?
Yeah, I just didn't want people to think that I was playing.
No, I know. I just wanted to watch because I knew you were voting.
Okay, I'm just about finished with white, and then I'm gonna move to you guys.
Okay, perfect. They
Uh,
see our DMs. That's fucking funny. Oh no.
what? No,
Okay.
they can only see Overwatch. Okay,
Perfect.
so I'm getting right back to. So we were talking about. Well, I was talking. I actually just mentioned that was funny that you just DM'd me because I was saying in chat and like in the voice chat, just like talking while the fight was going on, that I was really hoping that like praying that the problem was just the GPU, so I can go home and like play and not have to worry about anything.
Mhm.
But yeah,
I think it is.
yeah,
I think it'll be
I think it
okay.
really is. Yeah,
I think Johnny's smelly though.
Johnny does smell. I want to do. We should do an in-person VOD or in-person VOD scrim or in-person VOD during Thanksgiving week or something like that.
Well, how would we do an in-person scramble with like 5 computers?
I didn't know. I thought we only
Bring our own.
I guess just one team can be in person. Like Tuesday can be white in person and Thursday can be blue in person or something.
We can do that, but I need a UNH login.
Okay.
Bring your own.
I can't. They disabled mine. They disabled yours too.
All right. Pretty good defense so far. I haven't seen anything egregious.
Have you watched Blue too or no?
No, after this.
Okay. Yeah, I'll stay and I'll watch with you.
Kylie's on a train right now. Right now, she's getting here at 6:30 in the morning.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I was thinking about flying over.
that'd be sick.
My mom said she'd let me.
After Thanksgiving though, probably would be better.
Yeah, just let me know.
Okay. You guys are having this is a pretty good defense. I mean, there's nothing like. I mean, Conix is getting rolled by the monkey dive, but I mean, other than that,
Monkey.
I mean, assuming the reason you're getting dove by getting destroyed is because you're playing Widow. That's the only reason. I know that Hank said that you were having trouble with the dive. I haven't seen anything with Sojourn, but a lot as Widow, just because you are playing Widow against this kind of rush dive comp. Well, this is I mean, we talked about this last time, Kendall. This is like another one of these Kiriko rushes where you use it where like it just doesn't give you any value because you first off you can't really see anybody. Like
Yeah, because I can just back away.
let's look at your like yes, like you can only see Monkey right now. Just get familiar with the range, like because this doesn't give you anything because they just back up. So now your entire team isn't using it, and Nemo dies. And now you're scattered, and the entire team dies. I'm kind of just a kill, but you guys did that thing again where you don't really have a lot of patience and just completely just bull rush it and die.
Oh my god, I found Johnny a boyfriend today on Overwatch. You missed it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is he
Johnny.
hot?
I don't know, Johnny. What do you rate your boyfriend that I found you?
Oh,
Bro, I just wanted to know if he was French or German.
I never asked. I should DM him right
You
now.
did
and
ask.
No, no, he didn't say neither. Oh yeah, he said neither. Wait, let me ask him. Say what accent he has.
okay. Let's be real here. What happens is so, like, dumb on you guys. Like, we cannot lose these fights almost because you're just like completely feeding into the back line. Like, watch what happens. Like, you try trading Reaper ults. You go 2 for 1 for Reaper ults. Hank is already in the back line on this Sojourn. You know, Kendall's trying to chase him. He dies. Hank is still going in, low health against the Sojourn. Now it's a 3v2. He barely kills him. Now he's like what, like 10 health?
60 seconds.
He gets out. Like we can't barely win these fights like this after it's like you would have survived with 4 people. Like they have a longer spawn or shorter spawn. We just need to be a little bit more patient. I mean, we're all back, but like the concept is just like you guys have to be a little bit more patient. If this guy has ultimate, yeah. That's an awful Kiriko.
Now.
Connex gets destroyed in the backline by Monkey. I mean, you're just playing. I know, like I said again, you're just playing Widow. That's the reason. This is a good Kiriko.
10 seconds remaining.
Ooh, but Sojourn's not getting focused because you don't have a Sojourn. I mean, he gets killed by Connex, but oh, you stopped them. Okay, I don't know. That was weird. That map was weird. Okay, we're gonna stop this recording now.